Hey there, air signs. What are y'all needing to release to get the best of this 888 portal? Ain't wasting no time. We're going to jump right on in to the specificities of these cards. So, first card y'all have here is the Knight of Swords sideways. And when this came out, I instantly heard, be the king or the queen, not the knights. Be the king or the queen, not the knight. The knight has to take orders. The knight has to be cookie cutter one way or another. Okay? The knight carries out enforcement of other people, which is not, a bad thing. It's not a minuscule thing. However, it does lack a supreme sense of freedom and a keen sense of leadership that being a king and or queen has. So y'all have been playing it too safe. Y'all have been functioning like Robin instead of Batman. Y'all are functioning like a supporting character, and you really the main character and or the director of the whole show. Okay. So basically, Spirit is saying y'all need to step y'all game up and release your grasp on limited and or low self-image. Low self-image, low self-esteem seems to be in y'all's way, seems to be polluting y'all's psyche, y'all's spirit, y'all's mind, body, all that. And it's preventing you from functioning, from acting from your higher self and from your highest potential, and therefore potentially keeping you from seeing your highest potential in itself. With that said, there's also an element here of y'all needing to surround yourself with more evolved people. A lot of people glorify being called a shark. Thinking of yourself as a shark, like as a predator, something strong and vigorous that instills fear in people and all this, that, and the third. Howsoever, there are quite a few animals of the sea that are actually stronger and have a lot more beneficial and evolved elements to them than a shark. Specifically along the lines of where a shark can only get as big as its environment allows. So in y'all cases, y'all don't want to be a shark. You probably rather be an orca or something. But that's to say that basically you do need to understand you've been surrounding yourself with some sharks, some people and or habits that will never be bigger than where they come from. They will never be bigger than their environment because they're committed to just forming to the environment. They're committed to just doing and following the status quo of whatever the people, the things, or the structure of that environment tells them to do. Another animal that would, fall into that category would be a sheep. So sound like you're around sharks and sheep. Sally sells seashells down by the seashore. Nothing's a coincidence, okay? I'll make it all make sense. There's a lot of people that you've been around that aren't going to go any further than where they are. And that's not because of you or too much anything outside of them choosing that for themselves by whatever decisions they make in their own lives. And y'all are having to dare to be different and recognize the nature of air signs, of the air. The wind, the air is flexible. It's hella important because air is a part of our breath. So realizing how big of a part you have to play in life and also how much fun and monumental it can be. Spirit is saying you deserve better than what you have been allowing yourself to consume. This is bringing up the image of, I think her name is Stormy. She was like for lack of better terms, maybe period scheme, spokeslady type shit. But she was in a video talking about low vibrational plates. And while a part of that came out ignorant, something that she said in the midst of it was right along the lines of what Spirit is saying to y'all right now. You don't accept anything that somebody just put on your plate. You're not meant to just accept anything that somebody puts on your plate. You decide what you're going to eat, how much of it you're going to eat, and when you're going to eat it. Establish more authority over your morals, values, and passions. And release yourself from herd mentality. You all may need a intense hermit mode and or cocoon mode where y'all just fall back from everybody, though. Friend group, your families, you just duck all the way off so that you can get a better view and a better understanding of yourself and what you truly want and what you truly need and how you really want to show up for yourself, how you would like to be your own best friend, the way you want to love on you, the way you want to be your own significant other. It's giving me the song, I want me too, I want me too. If I was a bad bitch, I want me too. So it's giving like y'all need to duck off and have a honeymoon phase with yourself. Romanticize yourself, love on yourself, be your own best friend for a little while. So like I said, you can get more clarity on yourself and what your divine realm, what your God is calling you to do in this life. And also, this will help y'all gain a better view of who is actually meant to go with you on these next phases of your life and future phases of your more evolved life and who is supposed to be left behind. And for some of you, it may even be a case that everybody in your circle got to go. Like, as in, got to go away from you with that stank-ass, stagnant-ass energy, okay? For some of you, it's a high chance that your whole current friend group ain't meant to go with you into your evolution. Some of you are literally meant to uproot and go completely elsewhere. I'm hearing that some of you are meant to move completely out of the country or completely to the other side of the country. You're just completely ducked off countryside, just doing something totally different from what a lot of people are doing, specifically different from where you come from and what your home culture is. So another thing y'all are having to release y'all grasp on is being attached, specifically being attached to people for the wrong reasons, which could be superficial reasons. It could be just because you've been knowing them all your life, or because they your parent, or because they your significant other, whatever, what have you. It's meant and it's coming up a time sooner than later for some of y'all to just like completely leave everything behind. I'm even saying that some of y'all may leave a majority of your clothes and your entire house behind. Okay, some of you having to have conversations with your significant other, like, you going with me? Or what? You going with me? You staying here? I love you, but I gotta do like what's best for me and my future and my health, so that I can be the best that I can be for who I'm meant to be it for in this world, for real. Because a lot of y'all I'm hearing have been living a lie, and this is coming from being micromanaged. I'm hearing being like mentally manipulated and having your fight or flight response disarmed in some type of way in your childhood, where you may struggle to speak up for yourself. You may struggle to have a sense of urgency to leave at the sign of danger. You may struggle to defend yourself one way or another because somebody or some people probably gaslit you into oblivion and or guilt tripped you, or just did a series of repetitive abusive things to you in your childhood that essentially put in your psyche that you don't have permission to protect yourself. You're meant to protect everybody else, but you don't have permission to protect yourself. And that is a lie. And that has caused you to function in the lie. Therefore, live a lie and stunt yourself from doing what you're really supposed to be doing as your divine purpose. And if you've been feeling quite mundane and dissatisfied or bored or disgusted with some of everyone and everything lately that, has been around you, people you used to have fun with, that get on your nerves now, food you used to love, it don't taste the same now, then it's highly likely that, a mass majority of what I said is resonating with you, and you may be one of those people that is about to have to cut some of everybody off and, like I said, just completely uproot and get on down and just start a whole new life. And of course, if you end up doing this, do it with love, do it with compassion, because just because certain people are not meant to go with you, it doesn't mean that they have to be enemies, unless, of course, they make themselves enemies. But even still, you don't have to engage in that. You can leave them there to argue with themselves or whatever, what have you. But just understand that, and me delivering the message that you may have to cut some of everybody off or a lot of people off, doesn't mean that they have to be enemies, ops, all that. It just means y'all have two different purposes. Y'all just going in separate directions. So, again, handle them with compassion, because I'm not saying that anybody is specifically out to get you. They just ain't on your level, and you ain't meant to be on theirs. Y'all meant to be on two totally different pages, and maybe even in two totally different books, honey. So be sure to show gratitude where necessary and deserved, and that even includes with yourself, because making such hard decisions that may not feel good in the moment, those are strong things to do, and that's a sign of love for yourself as well, because you're looking at the bigger picture. You're thinking about, the future and not just the moment, and that requires wisdom. So just like it's a keen sense of self-love to be able to do something like that for yourself, for the greater good, it's also very wise. So it's something to be proud of if you're able to do it, let alone do it divinely, with divine and pure intent, which will inevitably bring you success through it. Now let's get into this past life card here, which is the male-female cards in reverse. So this is going back to tying in with the social norm, sheep mentality type thing, feeling like you don't have permission to be your fullest self, to operate harmoniously in your masculine and feminine energy with freedom and shamelessness in your current environment. So I'm picking up people of the LGBT plus community, and I'm also like, it's a whole spectrum, right? But I'm specifically picking up people who may be considered, I am picking up gay people, lesbians, things of that nature, but more so androgynous people. Yeah, and that has more to do with identity and how you present yourself aesthetically, if I'm not mistaken. So that being said, I'm hearing loudly some people who would like to just love whoever they love and dress how they want to dress. And one day dress like a boy, the next day dress like a girl, quote unquote, or wear girl and boy clothes all at the same time in peace, And they're feeling like in their environment, they can't be as queer one way or another. However, your queerness shows up along this spectrum. Just picking up a lot of people here in this air sign collective that feel like they can't be as queer as they are in their environment. And I'm hearing that this is confirmation for y'all to work on moving and doing your research on different places that are more progressive and liberated in the way where there's not so much hatefulness and division specifically towards people who are queer. And I'm also hearing people who are melanated. So I'm seeing that you want to live somewhere that is diverse, very diverse, which gives me certain places in New York, perhaps. But I am also getting like different countries that you may want to research that have little cricks and crannies, that may not be the most well-known countries or towns within those countries type shit. This is going to require y'all to do quite a bit of research and talking to certain people. And I'm also hearing, watching international TikToks to learn more about a lot of lesser-known places around the country and around the world, so that you can find where you want to be and where you're supposed to be living in all of your free. For some of you, this has to do with specific relationships. There's someone or some people that you have a relationship with. Any type of relationship, it doesn't have to be romantic, but it can be romantic. And your masculine and feminine energy is either imbalanced and or you don't feel like your significant other will accept you showing up in certain ways. So I'm picking up some women who don't really like to wear makeup or wigs or get their nails done like that. And your significant other may be like often saying things to you like, why your hair ain't did? I don't get your nail, like, why you don't do that? Why you put on makeup? And it's like simply because like you like to dress how you want to dress. If you don't want to do that, that's just what you don't, care to do. But you may have someone that you have some sort of relationship with that's always like, why you don't look the way I want you to look or the way I think you should look. And y'all are going to either have a serious heart-to-heart with them and explain to them, look, this is who I am. This is how I want to be. This is how I want to do it. If I get my hair done, it'll be a decision that I make and not something that you force me to do. If I wear a wig, if I get my nails done, if I throw on a dress, it'll be my spontaneous decision and not something that you pressure me into doing. And if you continue to do this, we're going to have to sever ties. Okay? And some of y'all may end up severing ties from them because those people may be attached to you for the wrong reasons. They may be attached to you for superficial reasons, and or just to project on you, just for you to be a sponge for all of their insecurities and all of their emotional turmoil and such. There's some people that are attached to some of you in general in the collective. There's some people that are attached to you because you make them look better. People knowing that